Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Shall we start? Okay, so last week we left with ethers common names. Am I right? And here we are going to start with ethers IUPAC nomenclature. So we know that representation of ether is nothing but RO or it may be RO or dash. We can say it is for symmetrical ether, it is unsymmetrical ethers. Okay. And if you want to name, say for example, C2H5OCH3 is there. How will we name this? So we have to keep two rules in our mind. First rule is choose long chain as parent chain. Okay. Among these two, so that means left side we have C2H5, right side we have CH3 to the O, to the oxygen. Okay, right. So we have to choose a long chain that will be taken as a parent chain. Okay, the large group will be chosen as a parent hydrocarbon or parent chain. Okay, the lower carbon group is added with the word oxy as suffix. Added the word oxy as suffix. So it's nothing but very simple. So here we have a C2H5 and OCH3 is there. Okay. So in this, this is having 2 carbon and this is having only 1 carbon. So this will be taken as a parent chain. Okay. Right. And we have to end up with the parent hydrocarbon like that. And we have to add the word, this is a methyl group, and we have to add the word oxy. So methoxy, we can get it as methoxy. And what is the hydrocarbon? 2 carbon. So 2 carbon means ethane. So I can write like this. This is the name of this compound. Is it clear? Say for example, CH3, CH2, CH2, OCH3. Okay. How will you name this? Which one will be taken as a parent chain? This is a parent chain because
methoxypropane, sir.
Sorry. Yes, methoxy. Very good.
Propane.
Methoxypropane. That's it. Okay. Methoxypropane is the name of this compound. Okay. C6H5O C2H5. How will you name this?
Ethoxybenzene, sir.
Ethoxybenzene. Very nice. Ethoxybenzene. Suppose the compound will be given like this. CH3OCH3. How will you name this?
Dimethoxy.
No, dimethoxy. No. So one of the thing will be taken as a parent carbon. So I have to end up with methane, and one of the thing will be added with oxy. So methoxymethane. Okay. Both are same, so no problem there. Methoxymethane. Okay. Suppose C6H5O CH2 6 times, then CH3. How will we name this?
Benzene heptane, sir.
No. So here is the least carbon. Here it is a least carbon, 6 carbon. Here totally we have a 7 carbon. So this is a parent chain. So we can end up with heptane. Okay, heptane. And then here,
Phenoxyheptane, sir.
It's not
phenoxybenzene.
Phenoxy. Very nice. Phenoxyheptane. Particularly in the first position itself, it will be attached. So 1 phenoxyheptane I can write. Say for example, CH3O, CH3. Here also CH3. How will we name this? So here it is simple. We have to look at the long chain. So here 1, 2, 3, or otherwise 1, 2, 3. So in second position we have methoxy. So 2-methoxy propane. This is the 2-methoxypropane. So here we discussed about methoxypropane. This is 1-methoxypropane, and now it is a 2-methoxypropane. That's the difference between these two. Because it has branching, it has a straight chain. If we got a straight chain, so no problem with that. If you have a branching, you have to name like this. Okay. Suppose the compound will be given like this: C6H5O CH2 CH2 CH CH3. Here also CH2. How will you name this? So we have to number it first properly. From oxygen only we have to start numbering. So this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, or this is 4, whatever it may be. So if you taken this as a long chain, sorry, if you taken this as a long chain, then it will be acting as a substrate. Okay, now we can name it now. Whether it is a long chain or not.
Sir, this is not long chain, no, sir.
This is not long chain, right? Very nice. Okay, then.
Sir, I think it is 3-methyl butoxybenzene, sir.
Very nice. 3-methyl butoxybenzene. That is the right nomenclature. Okay. Suppose the compound will be given like this. OC2H5, and here it is NO2. How will you name this? It's not like that. Just a minute. There is no ring is there. Okay.
So ethoxy.
So this is the functional group priority. We know that ether will come first, after only nitro group will be there. So this is 1, this is 2. So 1-ethoxy. Very good. 1-ethoxy, then
2-nitro.
2-nitro. Very good. 2-nitro, then
Hexane, sir.
cyclohexane.
Cyclohexane.
Cyclohexane. Very nice. Cyclohexane. CH3, CH, CH3, O, CH2, 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 CH3. How will you name this? This is what's a long chain. I to end up with butane. Am I right? Right. Then first position, second position, third position. Am I right? How we can name this compound?
Sir, it's 2-propoxybutane, sir.
Very nice. That's it. 2-propoxybutane. Okay, that's it. That's a nomenclature. Okay, this is very, very important nomenclature. Suppose the compound may be given like this also: CH3, O, CH2, CH2, OCH3. How will we name this? So there are 2 methoxy groups are there. This time we have to number it very properly. So either we can number it from here 1, 2, or 1, 2, whatever it may be. Both are right. So in first position we have methoxy. Second position also we have methoxy. Then how will we name this? 1, 2 dimethoxy ethane. Okay, dimethoxy ethane. This is the nomenclature. Is that clear? Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
CH3O, CH2, CH2Cl. How will you name this? Just try it, no problem. Where you have to numbering? Where you have to give the preference numbering?
Carbon attached to that
Oxygen.
CH3O,
Okay,
sir.
1, 2. Very good. Okay. So 2 chloro. Am I right? 2 chloro. 1
So shouldn't it
methoxy.
start with methoxy? Sir?
1 methoxy ethane. Sorry, I can't get it.
Shouldn't it start with methoxy? Sir? Why are you putting chloro?
Sorry, your voice is not audible. Some background
Why are
noise.
you putting chloro first? Sir?
Chloro, we have to give the least preference, not like that. Functional group priority, OR will get our first priority. That's what we have to number start. We have to start the numbering from here on.
Okay, sir.
1, 2. So 2 chloro, 1 methoxy ethane is a nomenclature. Suppose NO2, C6H4, OCH3. How we can write this? So we know that C6H4 in the sense benzene ring only. So I can write the benzene ring. And they're given a position as para. So para means OCH3. So exact opposite to that, we have NO2. Okay, now you can name it now. How will you name this?
Sir, 4 nitro, 1 methoxy benzene, sir.
4 nitro. After M only, N has to come. Okay, according to alphabetical order. So 1 methoxy.
So
1 methoxy.
4 nitro.
4 nitro benzene. That's it. Okay.
Sir, but that electron withdrawing group should be given preference, no, sir?
Not like that. Not like that, no.
Sir, suppose if any halogen atom is present, should we write the halogen atom of first order or should we go by the alphabetical order, sir?
So we have to keep it in mind one thing, the functional group priority. Okay. Functional group priority. So you just look at this order. So based on that only we have to name it properly. Okay. So functional group order, nitro group after halogen, the nitro after nitro only the halogen has to come. So if you have a halogen here, you have to give the preference for nitro group only. After that, the halogen. Okay. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
OC2H5. Here on CH3, here also on CH3. Okay, how will you name this?
Sir, 4 ethoxy
Very nice.
dimethyl
4
benzene.
ethoxy, not like that. So again and again, I will tell you, you have to give the preference to this one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is it clear?
So 1 ethoxy, 4
1
dimethyl
ethoxy, 4, 4.
cyclohexane.
Oh, that's it. So 1 ethoxy, 4, 4 dimethyl cyclohexane. Okay, this is a nomenclature. And next one is we have to give the preparation. So preparations of ethers. Preparation of ethers. So here we know that the ethers can be prepared by 2 ways. One is by dehydration. Dehydration of an alcohol. So if you dehydrate it, you will get alcohol. If you dehydrate it, you will get alkene also. Okay, alkene also. If alcohol is getting dehydrated, you will get alkene also. Okay, but alcohol, from that alcohol we can get ethers also. So we have to maintain the temperature in a very proper manner. Otherwise, you will get formed alkene as a product. And second one is a Williamson ether synthesis. Very, very important question. Williamson's ether synthesis. So in all the exam question paper, you can get this question. Williamson ether synthesis. These are all the important two methodologies of preparing ethers, and particularly the dehydration of alcohol, which is used to prepare only symmetrically. Symmetrical ethers, which can able to prepare only ROR. But here, in the case of a Williamson ether synthesis, it can prepare both ROR and ROR dash, both symmetrical as well as unsymmetrical ethers. This is a very, very important methodology. So, which is used to prepare both symmetrical and unsymmetrical ethers. The first preparation from dehydration of alcohol. Okay. So, suppose if I'm taken alcohol or OH. So, if I want to dehydrate it, what I have to use? I can react it with acid. Okay, H2SO4. So, what will happen at this temperature? ROR. Here the temperature is very important, 413 Kelvin. You have to maintain this temperature, or otherwise, if suppose the temperature exceeds 443 Kelvin, you will get formed the alkene as a product. Okay, that's what we have to keep the temperature in the range of 413 Kelvin. If the temperature reaches 443, definitely alcohol will form a alkenes as a product. So here the temperature plays an important role. You have to mention the temperature also in the exam. So here alcohol. So say for example C2H5OH. So two molecules of alcohols. If it is involved in presence of sulfuric acid, there will be a formation of OC2H5. This kind of ether I can get from. So I already told you this method is used to prepare only symmetrical alkene. So sorry, symmetrical ethers. Here also C2H5, C2H5. That's what is symmetrical ethers I can get. Okay. So let's see the mechanism. This is very important. Look at CH3, CH2, OH is there. And here in presence of acid, what will happen? So the lone pair can donate the lone pair and accept the H plus. By the way, I can get formed this kind of product, CH3, CH2, and here O is there, here H is there, the newly added H is there, and because of donation of this electron, oxygen getting positive charge. Okay, so as we know that oxygen always highly electronegative, it tries to pull electron towards itself, but here oxygen has positive charge, so it can try to pull more electron towards itself. Okay, so by the way, it can give a product like this. So it will left as water molecule, it will moving as a water molecule, so minus H2O. So what about the positive charge? The positive charge has to come to the carbon, because it can, the oxygen can pull the electron from carbon, so carbon loses its electron so that it has positive charge. Okay, now the second molecule we are going to add. What is our second molecule? Same, because we have taken the two molecules of alcohols. Okay, so in the first molecule there will be a formation of this kind of carbocation. After that, one more molecule is getting attached. So here also there will be a lone pair is there. This lone pair will going to attack this positive charge to carbon. Then what it will form? CH3, CH2, and O, H is there, and C2H5 is there. Am I right? Because of donation of electron, oxygen getting positive charge. Am I right? Because it donates electron to the carbon. That's why it can form a bond. But there will be a positive charge. So it want to stabilize it. That's what the acid initially what we added is getting regenerated, because these two electrons can be shared to the oxygen, because oxygen pulls the electron from hydrogen. So C2H5O, C2H5 is my product, along with that acid. So that acid is nothing but it is a catalyst. So after completion of the reaction, it gets regenerated. Is that clear?
Sir?
Yes.
Sir, the second step, where did that, from where C2H5 came, sir, as another compound?
C2H5O. Because
Yes, sir.
here we have used the two molecules. Okay. So initially we have first molecule. First molecule will form carbocation, then second molecule will come on react. Okay,
sir.
Okay, right. And here usually we can get it 1 degree alcohol. 1 degree alcohol only we have to use for this kind of preparation. Okay. So if we want to get symmetrical ether, we have to use 1 degree alcohol only. Then only we can get symmetrical ethers. Okay. Suppose if the temperature exceeds in presence of same reaction, say for example, if an alcohol, same C2H5 is there, C2H5OH is there. If the temperature exceeds 443 Kelvin, what will be my product? Ethene is my product. Okay. Ethene is my product because of dehydration. So here the temperature plays an important role. In the temperature of 443, it forms alkene. In the temperature of 413, it forms ethers as a product. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Fine. Yeah, here in this class, from this class and onwards, I'll give you the notes. Okay, I'll send you the notes in the form of PDF. That's what you no need to take any notes. Okay, fine. Because that is wasting much more time, I think so. So here Williamson ether synthesis. Williamson's ether synthesis. So what do you mean by Williamson ether synthesis? It is nothing but it is a kind of nucleophilic substitution reaction. It's a nucleophilic substitution reaction. So here we can able to prepare both symmetrical and unsymmetrical ethers. Both symmetrical and unsymmetrical ethers we can prepare. So for that, the condition is we have to take some alkyl halide. So what kind of things? I have to take some alkyl halide. At the same time, I have to take some alkoxide, RON, alkoxide. 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 So here, these are all the two things will be taken, and this should also be taken very carefully. I have to always take a lower degree. So preferentially 1 degree. And in the case of RONA, that is alkoxide, I have to take a 3 degree, higher degree. Okay, it's a higher degree. Higher degree alkoxide will be taken, and lower degree alkyl halide will be taken. Lower degree alkyl halide will be taken. Preferentially, we can estimate it is 1 degree and 3 degree alkyl halide as well as alkoxide. If you follow these conditions, it will form ROR dash as my product, because here I have taken R dash OND and ROR dash along with that NaX. Okay, this is the product. So initially, so suppose if you are taken 3 degree alkoxide, say for example, I'll be taken 1 degree alkyl halide, CH3 Br I can take. This is 1 degree alkyl halide. So 3 degree alkoxide, how we can take 3 degree alkoxide? CH3, C, CH3, here CH3, here O minus, Na plus. Am I right? And this O minus, it will be acting as a nucleophile. It is go and attack this carbon, by the way it can eliminate Br minus. The Br minus Na plus will combine to form NaBr as a product. So I can get my product like this: CH3, C3, CH3, here OCH3. Along with that, NaBr as my product. Is that clear? That's very, very important. If suppose if you taken reverse, the product will be reversed. I'll explain you why. So here, can you name this compound? This compound. Anyone?
So 2-methoxy propane 2-methyl.
No. Again, something. 2-methoxy you taken right way. Okay.
2-methoxy 2-methyl propane, sir.
Sir, 2-methyl
2-methoxy.
propane 2 sir, 2-methyl propane 2-methoxy, sir.
So 2-methoxy, 2-methyl, then propane. 2-methoxy, 2-methyl propane. That's a nomenclature. Okay. Suppose if I'm taken opposite, suppose 1 degree alkoxide I have taken, CH3ONA. So this will be 1 degree alkoxide will be taken. And at the same time, if I'm taken 3 degree alkyl halide, CH3, CH3, here also CH3, here Cl. You are just assigning it. Okay. This is 3 degree alkyl halide. Okay. Now what kind of reaction will happen?
Elimination, sir.
Elimination reaction. Why elimination reaction is taking place?
Sir, because alkoxides are not only nucleophiles, but they're also bases, sir.
Yeah.
So they attack with the carbon removing.
ONA, it will be acting as a strong base also. Because of the steric hindrance is very less, so it can act as a strong base. Okay. So because as we know that C2H5OH alcohol I have taken, and NaOH is a base I have taken. What kind of my product I will getting? C2H5ONA along with that water. Okay. And here alcohol is a weak acid. It can form its respective conjugate base. The conjugate base will be very strong when compared to the NaOH. Okay. So C2H5ONA or CH3ONA, they will be acting as a strong base. Base, how it will attack? Where it will attack?
So to the carbocation formed, sir.
If there is any formation of carbocation? No. So what is the elimination reaction?
Sir,
Just
hydrogen,
to-
sorry, sir, it displaces the hydrogen from.
Very
the-
nice. So what is the difference between
Beta carbon.
nucleophile? Nucleophile, if it attacks carbon, it will act as a nucleophile. The same thing, if it attacks a hydrogen, that will be considered as a base. Okay. Both nucleophiles are always bases. Okay. If it attacks carbon, it will be acting as a nucleophile. If it attacks hydrogen, it will be acting as a base. Okay. So where it can pull the hydrogen? Because here the negative charge is there. Where it can pull hydrogen?
Beta carbon, sir.
Beta carbon, very nice. It's a beta 1, beta 2, or beta 3. Where it can pull? Either beta 1, beta 2, beta 3. Anywhere it can pick. Why? Because all beta carbon having same number of group, hydrogen only. That's what it can pick anywhere else. Either beta 1 or beta 2 or beta 3. Okay. Suppose I'm considering this beta 1. So what will be my product? What will be my product?
Sir, CH3, C double bond CH3,
Double
single
bond
bond
CH2.
2, sir, and
CH2.
single bond CH3.
That's it. So there will be elimination will be there. We already discussed about in elimination reaction itself. Okay. So I think so. You learned about E1 and E2 reaction. We discussed. CH3C double bond CH2. Here also CH3. There will be a formation of alkene is there. Okay. So we have to take it very carefully. We have to take 1 degree alkyl halide and 3 degree alkoxide. Then only I can get formed ether as a product. Suppose if I'm taken vice versa, my product will be alkene. Okay. Is that clear? This is very, very important one. Suppose I would like to prepare one propoxy propane by Williamson ether synthesis. Williamson ether synthesis. How will you make it? What are all the reagent I have to take? So because they given a product, one propoxy propane, CH3, CH2, CH2, O, CH2, CH2, CH3. Okay. So if you want to prepare Williamson synthesis, what are all the reagents I need to?
So 3 degree alkoxide, sir.
No, not like that. Because here we can able to prepare based on product only. We have to take a reaction. Okay, because here 1 degree alkyl halide, 3 degree alkoxide is a common thing. Okay, So it is used to prepare unsymmetrical ethers. But here they given propoxy propane. It's a symmetrical ether. Then what I have to take? I have to take CH3, CH2, CH2, Cl. Alkyl halide, 1 degree alkyl halide. At the same time, CH3, CH2, CH2, ONA, 1 degree alkoxide. Okay, then only I can get formed this kind of product. Am I right? Because there will be a elimination of Na plus and Cl minus. So NaCl will left over. Then I can get product as propoxy propane. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Suppose I need to get prepared ethoxybenzene. Ethoxybenzene from what is that Williamson ether synthesis? How I can make it? What are all the reagent I have to take? So here I can write it that ethoxybenzene OC2H5. Yes.
Benzene will have ONA and
Benzene
we get
will have
ethyl
ONA.
halide.
Why benzene will have ONA? Because that is a higher degree. Am I right? ONA. Because this carbon attached with two different carbons, so higher degree. But C2H5
We have a
Cl,
halide.
alkyl halide. So 1 degree alkyl halide, 2 degree alkoxide. Then I can get this ethoxybenzene as a product. Okay, suppose 1 methoxyethane. 1 methoxyethane. How will you prepare it? 1 methoxyethane.
The ethane will have the ONA and methyl.
Very
will
good.
be having methyl halide.
C2H5ONA I have to take, as well as CH3Cl I have to take. Okay, least number. That's it. Least number should be given for alkyl group, alkyl halides. Okay, then I can get formed C2H5ONA. This is what I can. Sorry, C2H5OCH. So 1 methoxyethane.
So I have a doubt.
Yes.
Suppose we get a compound having starting like a position with 2 or 3, so how should we do it?
2 or 3 means? Sorry.
Like if it's like 3 methoxy something, then how should we do so?
So I have to take a branched one. Branched alkoxide we have to take.
Sir, can
Say
you
for
do one
example,
question, sir?
Can you do a
2
question like that, sir?
methoxy, 2 methoxy, 2 methyl propane. 2 methoxy, 2 methyl propane. How will you prepare this? You will get answer here. Yes. The 2 methoxy, 2 methyl propane. How will you make it? So first of all, we have to write the product structure, right? So propane 1, 2, 3. 2 methoxy OCH3. 2 methyl CH3. That's it. Okay. Now you can tell me which kind of alkoxide I have to take, which kind of alkyl halide I have to take. What kind of alkyl halide? Sorry. Sorry. Please.
Methane will be with alkyl halide and
Okay.
methyl propane will be with ONA.
CH3Cl or methyl chloride, something like that. And then, so you just break it. Here Cl, here we have to N. Okay. So CH3, C, CH3, CH3, here ONA. Do you get my point? Do you have any doubt on this?
Yes, I understood.
Fine. So if we want to prepare the ethers by either symmetrical or unsymmetrical ethers by Williamson ether synthesis means only you have to take alkyl halide and alkoxide. Suppose if they given propoxy propane from propanol or propanol, how will you make it? How will you prepare it? The
Dehydration, sir.
First preparation, dehydration. Very nice. So CH3, CH2, CH2OH. So if I add acid, I will get formed 1, 2, 3 and O 1, 2, 3. So propoxy propane I get. Okay, so if you want to prepare by Williamson ether synthesis only, we have to use alkyl halide and alkoxide. Other than that, you can straight away can go with dehydration, because generally dehydration will give symmetrical ethers only. But Williamson ether synthesis, we can able to prepare both symmetrical as well as unsymmetrical ethers. Next
Sir?
one, specific. Yes.
Sir, in the previous question, it should be 2CH3, no, sir? I'm having doubt with that
2CH3.
one.
Sorry. Yeah.
That
Where-
left-hand side reactant, it should be 2, no, 2, or should we write it like this only, sir? And add a H plus and we have to get it.
where you're asking this one?
Sir, the
Yeah?
reactant, no, sir. Last one, sir. Reactant,
Last
sir.
one.
the
Last one. Okay.
Propanol.
Yeah.
Should we
We
write
have
it
to
2
we have to
propanol
take
or
two more.
okay, sir.
Yes,
That
that's
doubt only,
it.
sir.
Right. 2 molecules we have to take, because the reaction, organic reaction balancing is not important, but in the case of P block elements, so we have to balance properly. So then physical properties. So what are all the physical properties? In generally, ethers are liquid in nature. Liquids, usually liquids. Okay, and lower members are gases. Lower members are gases. Lower members are gases, and also it is lighter than water. Lighter than water. So density is very, very less. And almost it is insoluble in water also. Insoluble in water, because it does not have any hydrogen bonding with that. It has only dipole-dipole interaction. That is also very weak, so that it is insoluble in water. And as usual, we know that the boiling point increases with increase of molar mass. Increase of molar mass. Once we increase the molar mass, the boiling point will also be getting increases. And this boiling point is less than that of alcohols. Why alcohol has higher boiling point?
So because hydrogen bonding is present.
Yeah, because they have a hydrogen bonding. So alcohols has a hydrogen bonding, but here there is no chance of forming any hydrogen bonding, so that it has lesser boiling point than alcohol. Okay, right.
Sir?
Yes.
Some doubt, sir.
Yes, please.
Sir, you said ethers are insoluble in water, no, sir?
Yes.
Sir, but ether has oxygen associated in it, no, sir? So oxygen and hydrogen can form bonds, no, sir?
Not like that. It does not form any hydrogen bonding, because it has only, because if what do you mean by hydrogen bonding? Hydrogen bonding means?
Sir, the bond is formed by the reactant with the water.
Hydrogen is placed in between two highly electronegative atoms. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Then only it can act as it form a hydrogen bond. Here OCH3 is there. Okay. Here also CH3OCH3 is there. There is no highly electronegative element in between them. There is no hydrogen bonding is there. Okay. Because these electrons are completely satisfied because of these donating groups. Does not require, it not able to, no need to form any hydrogen bonding with water. Because even it is a non-polar molecule, does not ionize it, doesn't have a ionizing capacity. It's a non-polar one. So that it has only, what is that, dipole-dipole interaction, slight dipole-dipole interaction, because there will be a dipole moment will be very, very less. Okay. That's what, it does not form any hydrogen bonding, so that it is insoluble in water. Generally, it is insoluble in water. And chemical properties. So ethers are generally almost inert. So the reactivity is very, very less. So normally they react in drastic conditions. In many cases, it will be acting as a non-polar solvent. You would have heard about that in the What is that? In the case of Grignard reagent also, we use the ether as a solvent. Okay. Why we are using ether as a solvent? Because ether is a non-reactive one. It does not react with anyone. That's what it can be acting as a solvent. Okay. And almost inert, and it reacts only in drastic condition only. And first condition is a hydrolysis. First reaction is hydrolysis. First chemical reaction is hydrolysis. When ROR, okay, so it will be reacting with water in presence of an acidic condition. Just look at, in presence of an acidic condition only this reaction is possible. So how it forms? So the lone pair can be donated to hydrogen and it attract H plus H. Then what I will get? R O R, here H. Am I right? Here positive charge is there. Is that clear?
Sir, so what is the product name, sir?
Yeah, this is an intermediate, it's not a product.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Here oxygen is highly electronegative. Then what it will form? It can pull the electron from alkyl group, because the alkyl group is ready to donate electrons. So it can leave from the reactant. So I can get alcohol as a product along with that, or minus I can get. Here, if I used water, then what will be my product? Or OH. Okay. Here I can get ROH as my product. Sorry, it can leaving behind the electrons. It can donate electron here now. Here it can donate electrons, so it can leave as HR plus. So OH minus from the water, it can absorb to form alcohol as my product along with that H plus. So initially we use the acid as a catalyst that can be regenerated after the completion of the reaction. Is that clear? Is it clear or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Fine. Fine. And next preparation is, next property is reaction with the halogen acid with HI, strong acid. HI is a strong acid, am I right?
Yes, sir.
CH3OC2H5. If it will react with the HI, what it will form a product?
Sir, CH3I plus C2H5OH, sir.
CH3I, very good. CH3I and C2H5OH is my product. Is that clear? So the I minus will go and approach where the lesser number of carbon is there. Okay. So less number of carbon atom will be attached with I. It's a general concept. Okay. Generally, it can react like this. Okay. Suppose if the molecule will be reacting like this, say for example, CH3, C, CH3, CH3, here O, CH3. If it react with the HI in presence of an acid, what it will form?
So CH3, so the I atom will attach the tertiary
Very
carbon.
nice. Why?
So steric hindrance.
Yeah, steric hindrance. Why? Okay, then any other thing, any other reason? I will be attached with the tertiary and CH3OH will be getting formed. But in this case, we said that is where the lesser number of carbon will be attaching with I. But here, more number of carbon will be attaching with I. If it is a tertiary, it forms 3-degree carbocation. So 3-degree carbocation is more stable. Okay. So I try to easily attract the, what is that? I minus. So it forms these kind of product. Okay. Is that clear? Very, very important. Very, very important. Suppose if I'm having a compound like this, benzene ring, and here CH2O, CH3. Okay. If it is react with the HI, what it will form a product?
So I get attached to the benzene CH2 and CH3OH will be formed, sir.
Very nice. So I will be getting attached with the CH2I as a benzyl iodide. Along with that, CH3OH is my product. Okay. Why this reaction is taking place?
Sir, because the carbon attached to the benzene ring, the one only this less stable than CH3OH, sir. Because due to resonance,
No,
the carbocation
due
is
to
less stable.
resonance, it is more stable. That's what it can attach with I minus. Okay, right. Very nice. Suppose if the group will be like this, anisole I can take in. I can take an anisole as reactant, OCH3. Okay, now it will be attaching with the HI. Then what will be my product? Anybody?
So is it iodobenzene and methanol, sir?
No, actually it can get formed the CH3I along with that a phenol as a product. Why? So we know that here OCH3 is there. Okay, is there any possibility to break this bond?
No, sir.
Why? Because it
because-
is in partial double bond character. That's what we can't break it. Then it is the easiest to breakable bond. So CH3, and it will go and attach with that I minus to form CH3I. And remaining O minus is there, so H plus will be attracted to form phenol as a product. Okay, is that clear? Is that clear or not?
Yes, sir.
கொஞ்சம் பேசுங்க, இன்டராக்ட் பண்ணுங்க, ஏதாவது சொன்னீங்க அப்பதான் மூவ் பண்ண முடியும். எனக்கு தெரியல நீங்க எப்படி எடுத்துக்கிறீங்கன்னு தெரியல, அதனால தான்
Sir, I have a doubt.
எஸ் ப்ளீஸ்.
Could you again explain how we select which place I will go and which place I will go first?
Oh, fine. So here only na, here.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine, no problem. So as we know that here there will be a chance of taking place a partial double bond characteristic. Am I right? Say for example, if suppose if I'm taken anisole and here OCH3 is there, and in presence of acid, we know that H plus and HI is there. Okay, and here I have a lone pair, and this lone pair will go and attack this hydrogen H plus. Then it can give product like this. So benzene ring O, here CH3, here hydrogen is getting attached because of donation of electron, it got positive charge, right?
Yes, sir.
As we know that because here it is a better releasing group, am I right? Methyl group is a better releasing group. It can try to give the electron to the oxygen because oxygen is highly electronegative. Moreover, the highly electronegative oxygen is now electron deficient because it has positive charge on it. So it can try to pull the electron from the methyl group because it does not pull the electron from here because ring is electron withdrawing group. Okay, so this possibility is not there. That's what it can pull the electron from methyl group. So methyl group loses electron. So there will be a formation of carbocation. CH3 plus is there. Then I minus will getting attached to this. As we know that if it gives the electron, so these electrons get satisfied. So that I can get my product like this. That is phenol along with that CH3I. Is that clear now?
Yes, sir. It's clear.
Okay, fine. Suppose sometime because if I'm having a 1 degree group, we know that here nothing but 1 degree group in the sense. If I'm having these are all the 2 1 degree groups. Okay, so very least carbon get I will be attached. If it is a 3 degree, here I have a 3 degree carbon. This carbon is 3 degree. This carbon is 1 degree. Okay, attached with the ethers, attached with the oxygen. One side we have 1 degree, one side we have 3 degree. It's a trick. Okay, so if it is a higher degree, it forms iodine. The iodine will be getting attached with a higher degree carbon. Okay, so here also you can look at. So what kind of things? Here, if suppose if it is breaked out, here it got positive charge because its oxygen is highly electronegative. Okay, or otherwise if it breaks out here, so CH3O minus I can get, or otherwise here I can get positive charge. So I minus will be getting attached. Moreover, it has high resonance also. In this case also you just look at. So here carbon is there. So here if it forms it's 1 degree. And here it is 2 degree. Why it is 2 degree? Because this carbon is attached with the 2 different carbon. Okay. So the 2
I have
degree
a doubt,
carbon or
sir.
3 degree. Yes.
In the first reaction unit, sir, there we gave it to CH3, right, iodine, not to the C2H5.
Sorry.
So here we gave iodine to CH3, right, sir, not C2H5. But you told it will go to the more higher degree carbon. So here,
Both are 1 degree, na? Here, this is also 1 degree, this is also 1 degree.
so either way it's fine, sir.
Sorry.
If you put C2H5I plus CH3O,
Like that, man, because these is not, these two are not different. Here CH3 only is there, but here CH3 is there, H is there, H is there. There will be a steric hindrance is there now. Here there will be a steric hindrance for C2H5 group. This is for C2H5 group, and this is for CH3 group. Here there is no steric hindrance here, but here there is a steric hindrance. That's what CH3 will be attached with the lower carbon.
okay, sir, understood.
Sir,
And one more thing. Suppose 1 degree, 3 degree or higher degree we will discuss. Suppose 2 degree. Suppose the group will be like this: CH3, CH, CH3, and here OCH3. Now you just divide this into two parts. Here, suppose if I get positive charge, there will be a positive charge in 1 degree carbocation. Am I right? So if I am getting positive charge here, this is a 2 degree carbocation. Am I right? Now, where, if suppose the HI will be getting reacted, where it can form a product? Where the I will be added here?
2 degrees, sir.
That is entirely depend on what the solvent we are taken. Okay, we can't say it is directly it is 2 degree and 1 degree, but we have to take, suppose if we taken a protic solvent, it forms stable carbocation. Then stable carbocation is what? 2 degree. So I can get formed the CH3 CHI, here CH3, along with that CH3OH. This is my product. If suppose if I'm taken a aprotic solvent means what? There will be a possibility of SN2 reaction. SN2 means there is no steric hindrance should be there. Okay, so without any steric hindrance means this is a group. So I can get formed the CH3I as well as CH3, CHOH, and here CH3. Is that clear or not? So it entirely depends on the solvent what we are taken. If suppose if we taken a protic solvent, the SN1 reaction will be a favorable one. It can form more stable carbocation. More stable carbocation means the I minus will be preferentially attached to the carbocation. That's what it can form I here. 2 degree iodide will be getting formed. But in the case of it's exactly opposite, because aprotic solvent, it does not SN2 reaction. SN2 means it does not require any steric hindrance, so that it can give the product like this. Is that clear or not?
Sir,
Yes.
sir, the same rule applies for 3 degree also, sir.
No. 3 degree means it is already stable carbocation we discussed. Okay, the I will be attached with the 3 degree carbocation only. For 1 degree carbocation, steric hindrance must not be there. That's what CH3 OH will be attached. But 3 degree carbocation, that should be attached with I. Okay, the I should be attached with the higher degree carbocation. If it is 3 degree, the 3 degree carbocation will be more stable, so that I will be attached there. But 1 degree carbocation, the I will not be attached there. Okay, but in the case of 2 degree only, we have a difficulties. So 2 degree difficulties in the sense. So what the solvent we are taken, that is entirely depend on this one. So if you taken a 2 degree with a protic solvent, it follows SN1 reaction. If it follows SN1 reaction, the 2 degree iodide will be getting formed as a major one. Okay.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, but 2 degree carbocation is more stable than 1 degree, no, sir.
Yes.
So
You
then,
know the order, na? 3 degree, 2 degree, 1 degree. We already
sir,
discussed SN1.
sir, then why protic and aprotic solvents are required, sir?
Sorry.
Rather than directly, so then why protic and aprotic solvents are needed, sir? Rather than directly substituting iodine group to the 2 degree.
Yeah, definitely it will happen. But the thing is, if we use a protic solvent, because there will be a chance of because 3 degree, it form 3-degree carbocation. It preferentially undergo SN1. But here 1 degree SN2. What about 2 degree? It involves in SN1 as well as SN2 because both in average. So if you differentiate in solvent, then only it can give the respective product. If you use protic solvent, it can give SN1 product. If you use aprotic solvent, it can give SN2 product.
Okay, sir. Understood, sir.
Fine. Next one is, suppose CH3O C2H5 is there. Here HI will be added and it will be given as excess. Excess HI will be added. Then what kind of product I can get? I can get formed CH3OH, sorry, CH3I, C2H5I, along with that water. This kind of product I can get. Even in 3 degree also I can get the same product. Say for example CH3O, C, CH3, CH3, here CH3. In presence of excess HI, what will be my product? I can get CH3I along with that CH3, C, CH3, here also CH3, here I along with that water. Okay. If you take any excess HI, the two alkyl groups will react with the same to form different alkyl halides. Is that clear? Is that clear or not?
Clear, sir.
Fine. Suppose if I'm taken like this, CH2O CH3. Here HI will be in excess. Then what will be my product? Same product. Benzyl iodide, CH2I, along with that CH3I, along with that water. Okay. Suppose if I just react with anisole, OCH3. If it is HI will be reacting in excess. What will be my product? Here I am not getting iodobenzene. Here I can get as usual product phenol along with that CH3I. Why? Because this bond cannot be breaked out easily. Which will not be breaked out easily because it has partial double bond. Partial double bond character. So I can't break it and make it in the form of positive charged ion. That's what I cannot get iodobenzene as a product. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Fine. And next one is with the PCl5. Reaction with the PCl5. Reaction with the HX is over. And next one is PCl5. So I think so. You know that trick for reacting with the PCl5. ROR. If it is react with the PCl5, what will be my product? I gave you the trick.
Is it RCl plus HCl plus POCl3, sir?
RCl plus no. So you just look at here. So here H, here one Cl is there, one Cl is there. Then PCl3 is there. Then POCl3 is there along with that RCl. So two molecules of RCl along with that POCl3. Is that clear? So based on that reactant only we can give the product. Okay. So if there is no H is there, so I cannot get formed HCl as a product. Okay.
Okay, sir.
And next one is electrophilic substitution reaction, ESR. So usually the anisole, that is a benzene ring attached with directly with OCH3 group. What kind of directing group is? Whether it is orthopara directing or meta directing?
Orthopara.
Orthopara directing, because OCH3 is a electron releasing group. Okay. So it has lone pair. That lone pair can be donated to this, and there will be a shifting of bond or resonating structure will be there. So there is no change in this bond, no change in this bond. Here minus charge, here double bond, OCH3. Here it donate electron so that it got positive charge. The next step, it can donate electron, it can shift the electron towards like this. So then what will be my product? Here I can get negative charge. Here there is no change in this bond. Here there will be a, sorry. Here there will be a formation of bond, and here double bond OCH3 plus is there. And here if it shifts the bond and it shifts the electron towards like this. So then what will be my product? So I can get from here negative charge, here bond, double bond, OCH3 plus. In all the cases, we can see it's a this position and this position you have to look at. This position and this position you have to look at. This position, this position. This is ortho position, this is para position, this is ortho position to the OCH3 group. That's what it is. All ortho, para directing. So I can get from the ortho para substituted a product only in the case of ethers. Okay, ethers also I can get ortho para substituted products. And the first reaction is halogenation. Halogenation. So what do you mean by halogenation? So say for example, if electrophilic substitution is there, OCH3 is there, and it will be reacting with bromine in presence of ethanoic acid. So must to be there ethanoic acid. Here we are not using any catalyst like a FeBr3 or AlCl3 like that. So we are not using any kind of catalyst. Why? Because, sorry, here I am written CH3, it's OCH3 actually. Okay, so this methoxy group or ether is strongly ring activator. It does not require any catalyst. Okay, so I can give my product like this. So I can get ortho and para substituted product. Here Br is substituted in ortho position, and another Br is substituted in para position. This is ortho bromo respective product. What about nitration? Nitration. What kind of reactant I have to use for nitration?
HNO3 and concentrated HNO3 and H2SO4, sir.
Very nice. Concentrated HNO3 and H2SO4. So OCH3 along with that HNO3, concentrated HNO3 and concentrated H2SO4. This is a nitrating mixture. So if I'm taken this, what kind of product I can get? What kind of product I can get?
So NO2 will be substituted in ortho para position.
NO2 is getting substituted in ortho as well as para positions. Am I right? So do you know the mechanism? You know the all mechanism, I think so. So we no need to discuss it here because we already discussed a lot in the case of phenols and then haloarenes we discussed. If you have any doubt, you can see the previous classes videos. Then Friedel-Crafts alkylation or acylation. Okay, Friedel-Crafts alkylation or acylation. Here also there will be a formation of product. So suppose if I'm taken anisole as my product, OCH3, the commercial name is anisole. Okay, commercial name or common name we can say anisole, or this is accepted IUPAC nomenclature. Your CH3Cl along with that AlCl3. If it is a Friedel-Crafts alkylation, then we have anhydrous aluminum chloride should be there. Okay, so in presence of these, I can get formed product like this, OCH3, and CH3 will be substituted in ortho position, and OCH3 and CH3 will be substituted in para position also. Likewise, the same. Suppose CH3 COCl, CH3 COCl. So I can get substituted product like this. Anhydrous AlCl3. I can get product like this. OCH3, C double bond O, CH3. And here also OCH3 in para position, C double bond O, CH3. Okay, that's what the entire chapter is over. Okay, the entire chapter is over. Second chapter, that is alcohols, phenols, and ethers. Okay, and next chapter is aldehydes, ketones, and carboxylic acid. Am I right? Aldehydes, ketones, and carboxylic acid. So, what do you mean by aldehyde? Aldehyde. Do you know anything about aldehydes, ketones, and carboxylic acids?
It's a
Do you have any
carbonyl
idea?
compound. It's a carbonyl
Sorry?
compound. It is a carbonyl compound.
Compounds. Very good, very good. It's a carbonyl compounds. What do you mean by carbonyl compounds?
Carboxyl compound, sir.
Aldehydes, carboxyl or carbonyl?
Carboxyl, sir.
Okay. Carboxylic acid. This is the third chapter. So aldehydes, ketones, and carboxylic acid. So we know that what is the functional group of aldehyde? You know that C double bond O H. This is the functional group of aldehyde. What about ketone? C double bond O, both sides. Some R group should be attached. What about carboxylic acid? C double bond O, OH is there. Okay. So these are all the functional group of this one. Okay. What do you mean by aldehyde? So in all the cases, we know that CO group is there. Here CO group is there. CO group is there. The C double bond O group is nothing but carbonyl. Carbonyl group. Carbonyl group. Okay. CO group is nothing but carbonyl group. In that, minimum or at least one hydrogen is attached. At least one hydrogen is attached, then it will be called as aldehyde. What about ketone? RC double bond O, R, both side some R group is there. R group should be there. Then only it will be called as ketones. What about carboxylic acid? At least one OH group should be attached. OH group is attached with carbonyl group, C double bond O group. Okay. So then it will be called as a carboxylic acid. So apart from this, we have other carbonyl compounds also. Other carbonyl compounds. Carbonyl compounds. What are all that? So these are all the derivatives of carbonyl compounds or carboxylic acids, we can say generally. First one is acyl halide. Acyl halide. What do you mean by acyl halide? R C double bond O X. This is acyl halide. Okay, instead of carboxylic acid, instead of OH, we have X group. That is what is acyl halide. This is the first classification. That is the first what is a derivative of a carboxylic acid. The next one is acid anhydride. Acid anhydride means what? R C double bond O, O C double bond O R. Anhydride means what? Any idea about this? In school, whether they completed this or not?
Yes, sir. They're halfway, sir.
Completed. Okay.
In the alpha hydrogen reactions.
Alpha hydrogen reaction. Okay. Any other thing? Because I need to get formed this anhydride. Where it can come? So if you heat it, there will be a liberation of water molecule minus H2O. Now you can combine all those things. RCO, RCO, OCOR, OCOR. That's it. This is anhydride. So in that acid, if you remove water, that is anhydride, without water content, if two carboxylic acid mixed together, it forms acid anhydride as a product. Okay. And next one is a ester. What do you mean by ester? Ester.
War group will get.
R C double bond O OR. Very good. Okay. How will it get formed? Same thing. R C double bond O OH. Instead of one more carboxylic acid group, I have a alcoholic group. One alcohol as well as acid, then it form. If you heat this, there will be a liberation of water molecule. I'll get RC double bond O. O here R is there. That's what I can get ester as my product. Okay, this is what an ester is a product. And what about amide? Acid amide, I can say acid amide. I can say acid amide. RC double bond ONH2. How it will get formed? நீங்களே சொல்லலாம். எதோட ரியாக்ட் ஆனா அமைடு ஃபார்ம் ஆகும்? இப்போ இங்க பார்த்தோம் இல்லையா, ester
RC double bond OH plus NH3, sir.
Very nice. So it will be getting react with ammonia. So RC double bond OH and HNH2. I can write ammonia like this. There will be a liberation of water molecule. If you heat this, there will be a liberation of water molecule. RC double bond NH2 is my product. This is amide. Okay, this is what amide. This is the acid amide. Okay, this acid amide, I can say. And one more thing, aldehydes and ketones are very, very important, but usually the similar properties, aldehydes and ketones have similar properties. So we can discuss initially with aldehydes and ketones. Afterwards only we are going with carboxylic acid. It has some different properties when compared to aldehydes and ketones. Okay, aldehydes and ketones are slightly differ from carboxylic acid because everything is a carbonyl compound, but the reactivity of aldehydes and ketones are somewhat better when compared to carboxylic acid because that can involve in resonating structure. So that we'll discuss later. Okay, these things. And very important thing, let's discuss with the IUPAC nomenclature. Okay, so what is the IUPAC nomenclature of this? Wait. Yeah, so aldehydes and ketones are organic compounds with a C double bond O group. We know that. So the remaining two bonds of CO group of carbon is satisfied by hydrogen atom or alkyl or aryl group. Say for example, R C double bond O.
Sir, your screen is frozen, sir.
Oh, just a minute. Whether you can able to watch the screen or not?
Sir, only
You're
the
able to
screen
see the screen, but it's frozen, sir.
Yes, sir, only that
You can't see what you're writing.
past is only there, sir.
Okay. Can you able to see now?
No,
No,
sir,
sir.
still the same.
No. Okay, fine. Just a minute. Is it visible now?
Now
Yes,
it's
sir.
visible, sir.
Is it visible or not?
It's visible, sir.
Okay. Okay. So the aldehydes and ketones are organic compounds with carbonyl group. Am I right? Say for example, R C double bond O H. If I am having, say for example, here CO group is there, carbon has to satisfy with either hydrogen or alkyl or aryl group. So if it is at least one hydrogen is there, then it will be called as aldehyde. Suppose R C double bond O R or R dash, something like that, anything. So then it will be called as ketones. Okay. So at least one of the bond is satisfied by hydrogen, then it forms the aldehyde. Okay. Either alkyl or aryl groups are attached instead of hydrogen atom, then it forms ketone as a product. Is that clear? And this is the common names of aldehydes. The common name is usually derived from the carboxylic acid because these are all the parent compounds. So many organic compounds can be synthesized from carboxylic acid only because carboxylic acid are available naturally. Natural availability is more. That's what we can get it as a source. We can get the source. From that source, we can able to prepare aldehydes, ketones, alcohols, hydrocarbons, like that we can prepare. Okay. Then the common name of aldehydes are derived by replacing IC acid with aldehyde. So we have to replace IC acid and we have to add aldehyde the word. Okay. Simply we can do. So here formic acid, this is a common name of carboxylic acid. So we have to, this is a common name. Okay, just keep it in mind. This is a common name. There is no certain rules and regulation, but there will be a number of compounds are given. So that's what some kind of carboxylic acid having certain rules and regulations. Certain rules and regulations it can follow. That's what. So formic acid, it's a common nomenclature of HCHO. Sorry, HCOOH is a common name of formic acid. Okay. So once I got a formic acid, so instead of that, the formic acid, from that formic acid only this formaldehyde is produced. Okay, that's what we have to remove IC acid. There will be a IC acid. IC acid we have to remove it, and we have to add aldehyde the word. From afterwards, we have to add aldehyde. So form aldehyde is there. That's what is formaldehyde. And what about this one? What about this one? Second one.
Ethanaldehyde.
It is derived from acetic acid. So we have to remove acetic acid. IC acid we have to remove, and we have to add what? Aldehyde the word. So then, what about my compound? Acetaldehyde. Is that clear? And what about this third one? This is propionic acid. This is a common name. Propionic acid. Propanoic acid. It's not propanoic acid. So propanoic acid is a IUPAC nomenclature. Here propionic acid is a common nomenclature. From that common nomenclature only we can derive the name of aldehydes. So here propionic acid. So here also IC acid we have to remove it. If you remove IC acid, then we can add aldehyde. Then it is called propionaldehyde. Propionaldehyde. Then what about this one? So it's 4 carbon containing carboxylic acid is called butyric acid. Butyric acid. Then we can remove IC acid. Then you can add aldehyde the word. Then butyraldehyde is a common nomenclature. Butyraldehyde. And what about the 5 carbon containing carboxylic acid? The carboxylic acid name is valeric acid. Valeric acid. So you have to remove IC acid and you can add the word aldehyde. So valeraldehyde. So in many exams they ask this question, valeraldehyde. So most probably up to 5 carbon you should know. At least you should know these 5 carbon nomenclature, common nomenclature. Okay. The next one is the substituent location may be indicated by using alpha, beta, and gamma delta like that. Say for example, so this is a functional group. Okay, this is a functional group. Aldehyde is a functional group, and here it is a alpha carbon, and here it is a beta carbon. Okay, how will we name this? Beta hydroxy. We know that aldehyde will be given higher preference than alcohol. If alcohol will be lower preference, then it will be called as hydroxy. Beta hydroxy butyraldehyde. Butyraldehyde. Is that clear or not? Very important. Beta hydroxy butyraldehyde. If more than one substituent is present, then as usual rule we have to follow alphabetical order. So here this is a functional group. Functional group attached to carbon is alpha carbon. Then second carbon is beta carbon, and this is a third carbon, that is a gamma carbon. How we can name this? Anybody?
Is it alpha, bromo, beta, methyl, butyraldehyde?
Alpha, bromo, good. Beta, methyl, very good. Beta, methyl, butyraldehyde. Very good. Okay, this is the nomenclature. And next one is the IUPAC nomenclature. IUPAC nomenclature, rules for naming aldehyde. First, we look at the aldehydes. IUPAC name of open chain aliphatic aldehydes are derived from the name of corresponding alkanes by replacing the ending E with Al. Say, for example, if I am taken alkane, okay, just we remove this E and we have to add Al, then it will be named as alkanal. Alkanol, it's not alkanol, it's alkanal. We have to pronounce it null. Okay. If you have alkanol, then it is alcohol. But here alkanal, aldehyde. It is ending with Al, then it will be called as aldehyde. Al starts with aldehyde. Okay. So alkane, we just remove it E and we can add Al, then it forms alkanal. And longest carbon numbering starts from CHO group. Here the number should be start from here. There is no more exceptions. The exception CHO vanduchuna adha first number. So yeah, if you have a CHO in a group, so that should be numbered first. For dialdehydes, location numbers, both carbonyls are omitted because always the aldehyde groups are in terminal position only. The aldehyde groups are present in because that occupying first position. So then we no need to number it. Say for example, CH2, CHO, CH2, CHO. You no need to mention 1, 2, 3, 4. You no need to mention these numbers. Okay, because that is understood. Already understood. Aldehydes are in terminal positions only. Okay. I will tell you how it will be named. Then if more than one substance are in a compound, you have to follow as usual alphabetical order. And here we have to name it properly by common nomenclature. So it's common nomenclature in the sense we have taken this as a functional group. But here it should be numbered 1. CHO will be numbered as 1. That should be having least number 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you can tell me what is the name of this one. So here bromine, so it starts with B, and it is methyl, it starts with M. So according to alphabetical order, Br will win in the race. So 3 bromo, 2 methyl. Then aldehyde, how we can pronounce it? How many carbon? 4 carbon. So butane. You remove the E and add Al, butanol. 3 bromo, 2 methyl butanol is the name of this compound. Is that clear or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay. When aldehyde group is attached with a ring, okay, if it is if the CHO group is directly attached with the ring, then we have to give the suffix as carbaldehyde. Before that, we have to add the name of cycloalkane. Okay. So cycloalkane, carbaldehyde. We have to name it like this: cycloalkane, carbaldehyde. Say for example here. So if this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5-member ring, cyclopentane, cyclopentane. We have to retain the E here. We have to retain E here for cyclopentane. Cyclopentane, carbaldehyde. Carbaldehyde. This is very, very important. If any ring like structure is occupied and that is directly attached with the CHO group, then we have to end up with carbaldehyde. Okay, we have to end up with carbaldehyde. Before that, you have to name it the cycloalkane first. Okay, so cyclopentane, carbaldehyde. If I am having like this, if I'm having a compound like this, how will you name this?
Cyclohexane carbaldehyde.
Cyclohexane carbaldehyde. That's it. Okay. Okay, let's name it. So how will you name this?
Propanol.
1, 2, 3. Very good. Propanol. propanol. ஒரே ஒரு 2 பேர் தான் ஆன்சர் சொல்லிட்டு இருக்காங்க, வேற யாரும் சொல்லல. புரியலையா? பேச மாட்டீங்களா? And here butanol. Butanol. 4 carbon, so butanol. And here we are to name it very properly because 1, 2, 3, 4. So here it's a straight chain only. So if you are not numbering also, there is no problem with that. But here you have to number it. In second position, we have methyl group. So 2
methyl butanol.
butanol. That's it. 2 methyl butanol. The next one is, how will you name this? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes.
3 hydroxy 2 methyl butanol.
Very good. 3 hydroxy. 3 hydroxy 2 methyl butanol. Butanol. Why we have to use 3 hydroxy first? Because H will come first. After that, only the M will be. So we have to follow alphabetical order here also. Okay, how will name this?
Isopropyl aldehyde, sir.
No, not like that. So long chain.
methyl
This is not the long chain. Functional group should be there in the long chain. Functional group should be there. So 2 methyl propanol. Here. How will you name this?
2 methoxypropanol, sir.
That's it. Very nice, man. 2 methoxypropanol. 2 methoxypropanol. மற்றவங்களுக்கும் ஆன்சர் தெரியும், பட் எதுக்கு சொல்லிக்கிட்டே அப்படின்னு இருக்காங்க. கரெக்டா சார்? இதெல்லாம் வந்து எங்களுக்கு அல்வா சாப்பிட்ற மாதிரி சார் அப்படின்றாங்க. ஓகே, இது எப்படி நான் சொல்லலாம்?
4 methyl pentanol.
4 methyl pentanol. Very nice. 4 methyl pentanol. எப்பயுமே வேடிக்கை பார்க்கறவங்களுக்கு எதுவுமே கிடைக்காது, அவங்க பேர்லாம் தெரியாது. வெளியே பார்ட்டிசிபேட் பண்ணணும், கலந்துக்கிறவங்க தான் பேர் தெரியும். சரியா? அதனால கலந்துக்க ட்ரை பண்ணுங்க. ஓகே, இது எப்படி நான் நேம் பண்ணலாம்? யாரோ சொல்லிட்டு இருக்கீங்க, பட் எனக்கு ஆடிபிலிட்டி இல்ல.
So can we put 2, 2, trichloroethanol?
Very nice. 2, 2, trichloroethanol. Because it has 2 carbon only. Ethanol. Very good. And next one. What about this one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then
4 chloro.
3, 4 dichloro.
No. 4 chloro. 4 chloro.
4 chloro, 3 methyl heptanol.
Very nice. 3 methyl hexanol. Hexanol. 6 carbon atoms. No? Hexanol. Very good. Okay. How will you name this? Here also the double bond will not be considered. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4 only. How will you name this?
Butuenal.
Very nice. Butuenal. So you no need to mention the position. If you want to mention the position, butuenal. That's also right. Okay. So no need to mention the position for aldehyde because that is already is there. That's default. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How will you name this?
Sir, 3.
Then
But3.
okay.
Hex3enal.
Hexene.
Hex3enal. That's it. Hex3enal. Very good. Super. அவ்வளவுதான். ட்ரை பண்ணா I will be very happy. Okay. So how will you name this?
2, 2 dibromo
2, 2 dibromo. Very good.
Cyclopentane.
Cyclopentane. Good. Then
Pentanal.
Carbaldehyde.
Carbaldehyde.
Cyclopentane carbaldehyde.
Carbaldehyde. Okay, if the ring is directly attached with any CHO group, then it should be named as carbaldehyde. Okay, just 2 minutes, I'll finish it. Okay, and here 1, 2, 3. Then how will you name this?
3-bromo benzene carbaldehyde.
Benzene carbaldehyde.
3-bromo benzene carbaldehyde. Benzene carbaldehyde, or otherwise we can say 3-bromo benzaldehyde. Benzaldehyde. This is a accepted IUPAC nomenclature. Accepted IUPAC. Okay, this is accepted IUPAC. Benzaldehyde is a accepted IUPAC nomenclature. So we can say as a benzaldehyde also. Okay, how will you name this compound?
Heptanal.
Heptanal. Sure. 1 6 carbon, total 7 and 1 8. Octanal. Totally 8 carbons. Now this is 1. This is totally 6 carbons. So 6 plus 1, and here 1 carbon is there, plus 1, totally 8 carbon. Octanal is a nomenclature. Okay. Okay, how will you name this? You'll end up with this one. Okay, how will we name this? So this is 1 carbon, 2 carbon, 3 carbon. Yes.
Pentane 1,5 dial.
Pentane 1,5 dial. No. We have to include this carbon. CHO. This is CHO. This is also CHO. Then
So 4-formyl pentanal. 5-formyl pentanal.
How it will be pentanal? How it will be pentanal?
Sir, pentan dial.
Pentan dial. Very nice. Pentane.
Pentane 1,5 dial.
Dial. No need to mention the position. I already said, because this will be always available in terminal position only. No need to mention the position, or pentane 1,5 dial also right, because no need to mention the position. That is the IUPAC nomenclature. That's the rule. Okay. Okay. We will wind up the session with this. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.